Thank you for sticking around through the break, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow, still joined at the desk today, as have been all weekend, by the impeccably dressed Joshua Fekez Quest.
Thought you were going to say impeccably British for a second.
I don't really read British from this.
I don't either. I don't know what this is, but
I feel like it caters to your Vegas style.
I am from Vegas. People in Vegas do love this outfit. I walk around a casino, I get so many compliments. I love it. It strokes my ego.
Well, there you go. You've been getting some compliments on it today, too. Everyone obviously loves it. Love to be next to this on the desk. Makes me look good, too, just in the second hand.
My light shines on you.
Right. No, it's reflective. That's what I'm talking about.
It is really reflective. I forgot we were going to have lights up here, and this is a little bit more reflective than I anticipated. So sorry about that.
Oh,
Hope it doesn't distract you.
Well and good. We're all here for the League of Legends games anyway, and that's what we're really paying the most attention to here, as we do have a side swap incoming.
Yes.
That means it's going to be Simon Fraser now onto the red side, and it will be Illinois onto blue. Now, not lost a blue side already, did break the red side curse.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, the blue side has won every game thus far.
Not quite, no, because
which one?
Illinois was red side for their last game.
Oh, really?
And did end up breaking the curse on that.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay, that's what you said. Okay. Well, either way, the blue is more likely to win thus far, but we are getting into picks of bans. Vladimir going to be the first one banned out by Illinois. Tom Kench being taken away. Timmy Tommy, they don't want to give him anything.
Surprise, surprise, Zoe ban.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, indeed. Tom Kench going to be taken away. They don't want to give Timmy Tommy anything to help protect Kerbeck or Yaba, something they desperately needed considering how much pressure Shimmy was putting down with that Zoe. So very much needed to be banned away from Shimmy. Zach going to be banned away from Jungle Boy. Played 3 games on Zach yesterday. Seemed a little off with the Trundle. Gonna be taking that one away, make him go back onto something else he's not comfortable with again.
You can really tell that they paid a lot of attention to the draft this last time. Now a Morgana ban taken away, interestingly enough. Timmy Tommy didn't have the best performance on it today. Did pretty well with it yesterday, but now says, I do not want Set Navrik on that champion. So they take that one off the docket for him. Do deny it through the ban phase, and now you got to wonder what they're going to first pick, because this to me says Yaba might be on that Caitlyn again.
It has to be the Singed because Zaker is still going to play that Singed if it is available.
Yes.
So that is automatically something that SFU has to ban. And Illinois know that. So that leaves 2 bans for SFU. They missed the Swain, locked in instantly for Kerbeck, possibly Zaker, but more than likely Kerbeck. And that's going to leave Erase and Set Navrik with their Zaya and Rakan bot lane, though.
All right, it is interesting now.
A lot of power picks being shown.
Over on the side of Illinois here, they do very much like the Kaza as a answer to the Zaya here. And with Braum as well, Timmy Tommy had a pretty good performance on that champion. It was, of course, in the game that they lost, but doesn't mean that he didn't kind of break out. Skarner was left open now for Didango, banned away from him yesterday.
Both teams getting kind of what they want right now.
Yeah, definitely. The strategy's kind of flowing out the window, but that's okay. They're pulling back to, hey, we'll let you get what you want. We'll take what we want, and we'll see which one does come out stronger at the end of the day. So with that, back into the second round of bans. Trundle as well. Now Jungle Boy falling under a lot of fire.
They saw how uncomfortable he was on the Trundle. That was a second-string pick to the Zac. They already also took out Skarner, so they're going to try to make him as uncomfortable as possible in his jungle role. Also going to be taking away the Ornn from Zaker, so he has to fall into something else. There is a Scion still up, but they have one more ban they have to get through. The first pick for the next phase of picking will be over to SFU.
Yeah, he had to play Scion, actually, in the first game. The game they lost against Robert Morris University. So we'll see if he does opt for that now that Ornn is off the table for him. Cho'Gath as well. They just keep blowing punches back at one another. You ban our mid laner, we'll ban yours. You ban top, we'll ban top. Not too worried with all that in mind. And that means Vel'Koz, the Void option to Kaisa. They want to find that in the mid lane. Void, obviously, thematically, they're not going to match up against each other in lane. So it's going to be Vel'Koz in the mid lane.
And that may be going against a Swain. I have yet to see a Vel'Koz into a Swain. I'll be 100% honest on that one, but theory crafting on that one, I could see the idea. Swain is relatively telegraphed. You can land your combo very easily as a Vel'Koz. There's a Scion locked in for Zaker. But we're going We're going to see what Timmy Tommy locks in. That's going to be a Kha'Zix on to Jungle Boy. So a lot different of a style as far as the power being displayed here. Kha'Zix.
Wow, yeah.
Going to be Jungle Boy going to go on to a more aggressive jungler this time.
He says, anything you can do, I can do better, and we'll see whether or not that is the case as Gangplank locked in for the top lane against this side. It is the counter pick that Aelith wanted for himself, and it's a very tricky composition to have to deal with coming out of Simon Fraser University right now. Xayah and Rakan so slippery. Gangplank going to be able to do so much to keep you from getting to them as well, just with that cannon barrage coming down. And then there's a lot of dissonance that Vel'Koz can create on the back line of things, especially with his disintegration ray. Now, Skarner, gonna love that. Absolutely, he's gonna have to act as a front line here, but he runs at people anyway, and I think he's gonna be okay with some of the way that's gonna pan out. Getting around a Sion and a Braum, however, from the side of Illinois, can and likely will prove to be tricky.
And that is one of the things that SFU is not bringing. They're not bringing much of a tank. They have Skarner, kind of an off tank. He does get tanky, but he's also very offensive. He's not a true tank like a Sion, like an Ornn, anything like that. So they're going to have to work around that one. Illinois, they have a lot of damage potential on their side. They have a 2-tank front line with the Braum and with the Sion. So there's a lot to work with on the side of Illinois.
And a Swain behind it all.
Swain is scary.
He's so strong right now,
yes.
And these players have been able to play him with impeccable strength. We did see, of course, him take a win on Swain yesterday in the second game against Robert Morris University, and Kerbeck was a terror on it. It sort of actually set the tone for the rest of the series in the mid lane when he was able to draft Xerath in Game 3 and just absolutely dismantle Robert Morris throughout. So with that, we'll see if he gets that same kind of momentum, that leverage up in this game. It's a bit of a different draft coming out now for the likes of Illinois, but a much better one if you ask me. Dealing with a lot of the pressures they had, heavy target in the jungle. Yes. Hey, we'll just take the Kha'Zix. We're not as worried. The support role, Tahm Kench's off the table, that's fine. Braum's the next best thing, and we're going to steer away from the Morgana. Seemingly, maybe they baited in the Rakan pick, knowing that Xayah and Rakan, something that is very prioritized now out of the side of Simon Fraser here. They seem to have an answer in the bot lane. Kai'Sa could be that.
Kai'Sa, so one of the things about Xayah is that you use the Featherstorm to get out of situations. Also, of course, to lock everybody down. When you bring them back in, you can root them down. But the Featherstorm is a get out of jail card. Something that Kai'Sa brings, Killer Instinct, pretty much negates that as long as you have a mark on your opponent. You'll be able to rush into the enemy. And that, if you have the mark onto Xayah, Featherstorm's not going to matter because Killer Instinct's going to be able to get you into the position that you need to just finish off what you usually use Featherstorm for, which is trying to get out of danger. So
right.
Something that Yaba is going to be familiar with, bringing that Kai'Sa into that bot lane. Caitlyn, he has run quite a bit, but he does like to fall back onto Kai'Sa as well.
Two champions, very important for Yaba. Yaba and Kerbeck, big targets here for me because when these two get what they want, they make a lot of trouble around the map for the opposing team. Jungle Boy has been a great facilitator on Zac thus far. Now, we did not see him have a good game on Trundle. He was not able to facilitate those lanes, so that's still a question mark for me here as to whether or not that's going to come to fruition. But with Swain and Kai'Sa in the rotation, staunchly now for Illinois, I think that they're off to a pretty good start here through the draft.
That's something that we're looking at, definitely, is Jungle Boy going to be influencing the lanes a lot more than he was than he did with the Trundle. But with that being said, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors this time.
This time you take it, okay.
Bam! Hopefully I don't mess it up because we're about to get done with the spectator delay. My name is Joshua Fekes-Quest. I'm here with Kyle Corvus-Crow. Going to go and give a thank you to our sponsors and everyone who brought us here, that being Twitch. They have been with us from the very beginning, helping cultivate the collegiate esports community. And of course, Collegiate League of Legends is a part of that one. Wouldn't be here without them. So thank you very much, Twitch. Go give them a follow and a shout out on twitter.com/Twitch and facebook.com/Twitch. Want to give a thank you for Juice Battery, powering us, powering everybody here, because we wouldn't be here without them either. Juice Battery, 6 times longer lasting batteries, got it, and 2 times the charge, 2 times faster charge as well. I will get this, don't worry. 2 times the faster charge, and your peripherals will never die whenever you're using juice batteries. You'll never die in-game as your mouse dies. That is one of the worst feelings in the world. Also want to give a shout out to iBuyPower. All of the computers provided here are by iBuyPower. Thank you very much making this possible. We have our LAN event, our tournament event. We have Dota, we have CSGO, we have League of Legends, all thanks to iBuyPower. They're not going to be powering the Smash because those are on consoles, but we also have Smash here. Thank you very much for I don't know. Thank you, Smash. Either way,
We
we're in
appreciate
game.
it.
Yeah, we're in game number 2. Best of 3. Illinois. They are down 1. SFU. They are looking to close this one out.
They only need one more game to make the difference. They are one game of League of Legends away, potentially 25, 30 minutes now from crowning themselves the first ever JV1 champions, making collegiate JV history, proving themselves maybe to their varsity correspondents as well, and walking away with $5,000. We exclude the support staff. That's $1,000 for each player. That is no small chunk of change, especially when you consider all of the travel expenses here to sunny Huntington Beach were comped.
Line of scrimmage being drawn. They don't want to make any sort of risky maneuvers like they did in the game number 1. It's just going to be line of scrimmage because we can't emphasize $5,000 on the line, like you said. There's a lot to lose here.
That's a lot of money.
There's a lot to win. There's also a lot to lose, though, too.
Well, both of these teams came here with that same goal, and that is to walk away with the W today, and so they will look to find that one for themselves with conviction. We'll see if it goes Simon Fraser's way again. They had such a daunting early game that was able to turn into all of the mid-game and eventually late-game advantages. They just snowballed out of control with their hyper-aggression early, and when they were not afraid to play maybe as fast and loose. We'll see if that comes out for them again today. They've taken games now off of two of the fiercest competitors in this entire tournament. They obviously beat UBC yesterday 2-1. They're a game up now over Illinois. This
Aggression already coming out.
Yeah, no, this is a lane that they very much like, and
Yaba.
so they're trying to get in onto Yaba. It does end up being the stun onto Set Maverick, and now Erase going to be the next one plagued by this passive. He will get out of this, but the Winter's Bite should have it here, and the extra damage on top. They might try to turn it around, but the Summoner Heal actually coming out. They try to find Timmy Tommy. He flashes for that one. And what a scrappy start to this bot lane. Not a lot of CS being taken in the meantime. Not a lot of really anything besides
Who cares about CS?
Trades. Yeah, they're just bloody anyone in his nose. I like it.
Erase already had used his heal, so Timmy Tommy. Oh, I'm sorry. No, Timmy Tommy flash. That was actually a very risky flash.
Yeah.
I mean, more than likely would have been down. There is a lot of level 2 bursts coming out from Erase. I was gonna say that I thought the Braum for a second was on the other side there. I think there was no heal to back him up, but there actually was. But he doesn't want to have to make Yaba use any of his abilities. He wants to keep Yaba as healthy as possible, as safe as possible. And that means that he has to keep help him keep a hold of his summoner spells. So didn't want to force Yaba to use the heal when he could use his own flash and get out. So Yaba is going to stay safe. He already used both of his health pots, I should say, but so has Erase. Very even matchup on that bot side, but Yaba is coming out prevailing. He does have a little bit of lead in CS, and also, more importantly, his both of his summoner spells.
Jungle Boy lurking off in the wings on this Kha'Zix. A big question mark for us still here at the desk. We've only seen him on 3 junglers. This is his 5th game. See how that does pan out because he played Zach every time it was available. This time not available, and come to think of it too, banning that Trundle, something that I'm not as sold on. His Trundle didn't necessarily do a good job of selling itself to me, and maybe SFU knew something we didn't there to say, hey, this could be a pretty big threat throughout the game, or
well,
maybe it's because they knew they wanted to pick the Skarner.
Well, that was, speaking of Skarner, he's just kind of chilling up there.
Didango's going to be Didang no this time. Having it back on right out, Zaker. Very safe under his tower. We'll see how well he can CS under this tower, because bleeding that out and denying Sion that CS, always very important for a Gangplank. Aelith, no stranger to this champion, of course.
With Skarner first picked for SFU, Trundle does give him some hassle, because if Skarner wants to go in, rush into somebody, and put the Impale onto them, a Pillar can really disrupt that. Taking that away from Jungle Boy will also deny them the ability to be able to stop Didango's Skarner from rushing in for the most part, considering he didn't have Zach. I mean, there are some other options. Of course, Sejuani has not shown up yet. Sejuani is also very good at countering that, considering he can counter with his Glacial Prison right into the face as he runs in. It's pretty telegraphed, but they're going to fall back onto the Kha'Zix, something that will not be able to stop Didango, and that's something that SFU possibly countered on.
Yeah, especially too when Kha'Zix wants to get in there, find the isolation targets, but hey, now maybe Didango's coming in, gets him on the Impale, and brings him back to the team. Kha'Zix is not a very beefy champion, does not last too long when being pulled back in to the likes of Azaya Rakan Gangplank Vel'Koz. So we'll see what that does eventually culminate with, as despite the action early in this bot lane, things have quieted down a significant amount.
They kind of blew everything they had whenever they are on that bot side. And especially SFU, they need to be careful. They don't want to go too aggressive because, again, there's no heal on the side of Erase, so they don't want to be aggressive. And I believe they're the ones that actually initiated that first with Set Navrik getting in there, dashing in, knocking up very early in the game. That didn't work out to the 100% of their favor, so they're just going to play it cool and farm now.
They definitely need to back off and just breathe here, find themselves the advantages, because now Vamp Scepter coming back into lane for Yaba. Timmy Tommy as well, kind of coming in with that Targon's Brace, the updated Relic Shield.
Yeah.
Something that's going to give them a little bit of presence and priority in this lane. It's a back, and it's a full BF buy for Erase there. And meanwhile, we've got some jungle collisions coming down, but Aelith was on the roam as well. Didango's over the wall. He's not level 6 yet. The Blast Cone's there, but who is level 6?
Aelith.
Gangplank. Aelith coming through with that one. Drops the Cannon Barrage to find first blood over Jungle Boy, and that's going to set him back.
Great communication by SFU. Didango looked like he was getting way too aggressive, but Aelith was ready for that. There was no health on the side of Jungle Boy to be able to withstand a full Cannon Barrage. And whenever you're going to be stunned up inside of it, you're going to go down with that low of health bar. Aelith picking up the first blood. Nice job by SFU in the communication.
They're going to feel good giving that over now to Aelith as well. It's the defensive start coming out for Zaker in that top lane. He's building Aegis of the Legion. First item there for Sion. Set Navrik, though, going in. He's behind the shield. Make sure Timmy Tommy gets a lot of pressure down. Erase finds a kill, but it's a double teleport coming out. That means they're going to leave Set Navrik out to dry. And Erase says, see you later, skater. It was fun, but runs right into the isolation of Kha'Zix. Can he get the Blast Cone out of this one? Does not get over the wall, and Jungle Boy with the Leap Strike does make sure that he does find that kill squarely in his own favor. Just the Leap. It's not the Leap Strike. Leap Strike is Jax. Yeah.
Yeah, Jax is Q. But Zaker used his teleport to the bot side and actually didn't get anything for that. He didn't get an assist. He just wasted his time. He got some, I think, group XP. But that's about it. He's missing quite a bit of farm on that top side.
He's already down in CS.
He's already down in CS. He's going to be even further down in CS. And that's going to give Aelith a lot of an advantage a big advantage in the top side.
Speaking of advantages, it's something that Kerbeck wants to find here in this mid lane. The ultimate used.
Just to get back to lane.
Aelith sidesteps it okay, but he's going to flash actually with a lot of respect on that one. Maybe didn't need to. Not keeping in mind that Zaker really only has that Legion right now, too, so he's not going to be the biggest damage threat. He might have could have walked out of that even if he got knocked up, but said better safe than sorry in this particular case. He's actually backing, so, well, no, he stopped that now. But if he had gone back, that would have given the priority all the way back over to Zaker and kind of wasted that advantage they just clutched out with the teleport. So
it is wise of him to use that Unstoppable Onslaught, though, to get to the top lane, considering he didn't have a teleport. He didn't need to waste any more time.
Smoke him if you got him.
Exactly, and he's not going to be able to use that anywhere else, of course, for a few moments, but he's not going to be getting ganked on the top side too much. I want to put more focus on this mid lane and bot side, considering you're not going to get a Scion rolling, per se. You can shut down Aelith, but you can also just get Kerbeck going as well.
Yeah, Shimmy in some trouble. Flashes out of that one and does not land his CC. That means
we
they're going to
got
come
it
under, and Kerbeck, with a nice pull back into things, finds himself a kill to take the kill lead for Simon Fraser here. Or I'm sorry, Illinois over Simon Fraser here. 3-2 thus far. Blue side advantage perhaps still prevalent.
Yeah. That anomaly one time where red side won.
It was Illinois to do it.
Illinois, they're the only ones in this in the semis and the finals to win on both sides thus far, which is crazy. But we do have some fighting in that top side. It's going to be interrupted by the Cannon Barrage. Aelith very aware of that one. Kerbeck going to go up to the top side, but stop his pursuit, considering the backing of Didango.
They just want to get themselves some breathing room here as we're getting close to the spawn of the Rift Herald, so priority around that particular objective. Going to be pretty strong. It did go to Illinois last time. Despite their loss, they did not find the best use of the Rift Herald there. It was kind of popped very aggressively by Jungle Boy. He died in his own blue.
Yep. And
they just chewed right through the Rift Herald. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no worries about that one. And obviously they want to get the Rift Herald, but they don't want to replicate that exact same application of it, perhaps. Meanwhile, both junglers had semi-success in their ganks. It was the flash over the wall for Didango at level 5. Really, Aelith taking the credit for that one, but Skarner instrumental in that all the same. Jungle Boy had 2 very successful ganks. One into the bot lane where he was able to find Erase on that late 4-man rotation, and then another one into the mid lane where Kerbeck got a much-needed kill for himself there and really started the Swain train moving.
Swain train is one of those that you want to get moving. That's why I'm saying Jungle Boy doesn't need to focus on topside too much. There's really been no focus from onto Aelith from Jungle Boy. He needs to get bot lane going. He needs to get mid lane especially going, because the Swain train hurts when it gets going and it hits somebody.
Packs a punch, doesn't it?
It definitely does. Now on the bot side, Yaba, let's look at the differential in the CS right now. Yaba doing a great job farming up, but we haven't engaged possibly.
Yeah, Jungle Boy's going to have to flash out for that one. Didango still cannot follow his flash, almost off cooldown by the looks of things. This could be bad for a race here.
No, he's too low health bar. He's underneath turret.
He'll be all right. Not too concerned. Now the flash is here, though, potentially for Didango. And does he want to come in and use it? The Impale, an option at this point. But he's deep into enemy territory, and he'll be isolated. Set Maverick has to come in to stop that one, but that means the Glacial Fissure combo going to be a big one to come up. Didango's very low. Kerbeck is here, and he finds himself his 2nd kill. No more on the docket for this one, but Shimmy not on the rotation down. Not been impressive with this Vel'Koz thus far, and it was something, too, that, you know, they knew they had to pick blind, but it's a dangerous option and not been one that's been paying dividends yet. It's going to be Ocean Drake. We'll go over to Jungle Boy here and the likes of Illinois.
Shimmy is having trouble in that mid lane. He is just shoving. He didn't roam down with Kerbeck, and that's something you have to do. You have to clear and you have to roam. You have to roam, especially when the enemy mid laner is roaming, because that will at least guarantee that the numbers are lined up. And when they're not, it's going to go over to the favor of whoever has the greatest numbers, especially this early on. You cannot do any lopsided trades. You can't do a 2v4 or a 4v3. Has to be even, or else the bigger number will win. Kerbeck making sure Illinois has that bigger number.
Basic mathematics there, and Kerbeck on the roam. He's been outstanding. He's had teleport and hasn't necessarily needed to use it in several of these roaming plays either. He used it once earlier on into the game, but the second time he just walked straight down to mid, or to bot lane from the mid rather, and Shimmy was not able to come through with a response. He was just hanging out and around. Maybe pinged it, maybe not. Don't quite remember what exactly went down around that one there for him, but the implication of it is all the same, that Kerbeck found himself his 2nd kill, the 102 CS. He's trailing by 5, but not going to be worried because he's up by about 500 in gold.
Yeah.
Over Shimmy there and dragging him around the map. Something you want to do is Swain. It's been a strong mid lane pick for him all weekend long. Today proven to be no different thus far. Jungle Boy.
He wasn't seen.
He initiates into the bot lane. This is bad news for Erase. He has to use the Feather Storm and Flash, but look at that. They jump in. What a charm!
Oh, no!
Are you kidding me? They turn it back around, and the teleports are here as well. It will be Aelith first, and that means Yama's going to go down. Timmy Tommy in a lot of trouble, too. Braum has to flash away from this one, but Set Maverick is there. He finds the kill, and now this is a bad place for Kerbeck. Maybe, maybe not. He finds a kill all the same.
Here comes Skarner.
And they do want to find Didango in here. He'll have Flash. He'll have Impale. He has the Smite to chill it and doesn't even need to Flash. Doesn't even need to Impale. He finds the kill, and that goes to Aelith, tying us up at 6-6. A gold advantage by about 1,000 in the hands of Simon Fraser as they do come down and say they are not slowing down in this game just yet.
Yaba had him dead. He was using the killer instinct underneath the turret with Jungle Boy. But Set Maverick, saving, coming in so clutch for SFU's bot lane and getting himself a kill on the back foot of that team fight as well.
We talked about this. Hang on, Disintegration Ray, not going to do enough. Okay,
no.
We talked about this. The Xayah and Rakan versus the Kai'Sa and the Braum. It started with a lot of initiation, but the Feather Storm was so strong from Erase to just pull back, get the kill. He's 2-2-2 now. That's not bad for him at all, considering how this game kind of started on the back foot a little bit. Now, especially with Kerbeck coming in there and the man advantage being so wonky, yeah, you can chalk a lot of it up to the dive, certainly, but that is not the result we possibly expected now from Set Maverick and Erase, and they're already starting the lane swap. This hasn't even been with a tower. The only tower gone down is in this top lane. They say, okay, that's fine. We're just going to run up and take it. What can Sion do? Nothing.
Not at this point in the game. He doesn't really have anything going for him. He has the banner of command, though. Let's not count that one out.
Oh, definitely never can.
But that one was not going to help him out in the top side against Erase, who can take out a banner command minion like it's just a normal minion. But the first tower of the game, let's not count this one out. It did go over to
Illinois.
Yeah. All the while, Aelith was down to the bot side. Zaker actually went up to the top side, picked up that turret. It is answered back, though, on both sides, top and bottom, by SFU. So they still have the objective game in their control. Next Drake is going to be the Infernal Drake as well. Something that Illinois, they secured the first Drake.
Ooh, Jungle Boy.
They don't want to.
And Yaba, they're actually walking into a flank for themselves, and this is going to be a lot to try to get in onto Kerbeck to start this fight. Glacial Fissure not going to be come down because look at Timmy Tommy. He was not in position for that one. Not enough, and now Kerbeck is in a lot of trouble. Didango kills Tommy, and Yaba's on the run. Kerbeck's health bar nowhere to be seen as well. Swain cannot hold through this one, and now the mid lane tower very low. This is going to be Simon Fraser taking another one for themselves. Yeah, this is Minions. Stiff Breeze will blow this thing over at this point, and they take it. They do stall out the Rift Herald. I believe they got it for themselves. Now
It's on Jungle Boy.
it is on Jungle Boy. Okay,
Yes.
they were able to take that. I didn't see that one go down the way at all.
Cameron really doesn't like Rift Herald this whole weekend.
No, it's
really-
really it's been dodging us, huh?
It has. Shimmy, though, I want to talk about Shimmy. In that little team fight, it was a skirmish. He had great positioning. He was over the wall. He used his disintegration ray onto two people. They couldn't get to him, and he was also just pelting away with his Qs as well. Very safe positioning from Shimmy. Something that I'm actually surprised he's able to do so well, considering how aggressive you can be as a Zoe. He played last game. You can get in, but you can also get out. You can't do that with the Vel'Koz. So he is not making the mistake of overstepping, knowing that he can't get out. He's going to stay safe the entire team fight. Nice positioning by Shimmy. He needs to do that the entire game, and if he can, he's going to be a huge asset in these fights.
He's proven at least the concept to us now, right? So
No, not a pause.
top lane screen went black, but they say it's all good. They're ready to get back into it, hopefully before too long here. So
Yeah.
with that,
With that being said, though, we do have Aelith 3-0-2 now with his Trinity Force complete. 17 minutes in, he's hit his mid-game power spike. We're going to get back into this game. He's hit his mid-game power spike, which means he can split push and more than likely battle out Zaker right now, who just has a banner command at the moment, which isn't something that really adds anything to your power. It adds your split pushing power, yes, but outright dueling, Aelith is going to be able to take him out. Not to mention, as a gangplank, you can also battle out, or at least kill out a banner command minion.
Banner command been a heavy weight on the entirety of this series, the entirety of this weekend. And it's a lot of a question posed, something not every team, every school has themselves an answer for thus far. Jungle Boy thinks he has an answer for Erase, and it's diving into the back lane. Timmy Tommy gets the kill credit for that one, and not going to be the worst thing that could happen to him here. But they do want a little bit more than that. The tower, maybe the cherry on top of that gang.
They're holding on to the Rift Herald as well, so they have the potential to get another one too. They're not going to pop it just yet.
Drake's up. It is Infernal. That's a lot more important.
Yeah, they'd much rather get that one. The first Drake went over to Illinois. They want to secure the second Drake as well. SFU, no position. And actually, Didango is showing his positioning by clearing the wave on the bot side. So that's an easy Drake over to Illinois.
Easy Infernal Drake at that. They have the Ocean Drake. They have the Infernal. They're going to feel fantastic about both of those, especially as they do get into the later game with some of these beefier targets. Kerbeck, Zaker, and Ocean Drake going to mean a lot to them. And the burst, of course, Jungle Boy and Yaba not going to sneeze at any of that damage. So tied up 7-7 here, just about a minute away from the 20 mark. It's the tower advantage, netting about 2.5, 3K gold to the hands of Simon Fraser here. No slouch, no disrespect allowed against this Illinois team. They're still coming up strong. Yaba is the target they want. That's going to be the flash in. That's going to be the lockdown, and Didango finds that kill. Kaisa will not live to see the light of day here, and this is going to call the troops now to the mid lane for Simon Fraser, and the siege is starting to set up. We'll see if they can find anything more. They're going to flash in onto Jungle Boy. He charms up, but not going to be too much there. It's about half health thus far, and they're just going to rotate back in. If they can cripple the jungle of Jungle Boy and make sure that he's not in a position to fight this through this next wave, they may have a shot at this turret.
They still do have Rift Herald up. They have not used it. They need to
Ooh,
very
look
soon.
at that. The Disintegration Ray coming in, but it's going to be a nice knock-up, and Set Maverick gets pulled back in as well by the Swain. That's going to be the unstoppable onslaught coming through. Didango's going to be low, but Aelith gets the kill. Both supports have been traded out thus far. Kerbeck is just not going down. Finally does, but here's Jungle Boy to try to salvage the fight. Featherstorm says, you get right on out of here, and Zaker's in some trouble now. This is Simon Fraser's fight, and they are winning it. They do trade. They get 2 kills for themselves. They lose 2 on their own side, but if you count Yaba at the beginning of that fight, before it all broke out, the advantage means there's a 2-kill gain for the likes of Simon Fraser. We started at 7-7.
Too much risk for Yaba. He wants that kill so bad because he has that killer instinct, not only on his champion, but also in the frame of mind. He wants that kill, can't get it, needs to think better because we see what happens whenever he's not in a team fight, when he's not in a siege, when he's not in a defense. SFU can kind of run wild all over Illinois. They need Yaba in these team fights because while Kerbeck, he had a great supernova, bursted some health bars, but there was no supplemental damage coming out. Jungle Boy wasn't in a position to do that either. Needs Yaba to be able to get there, not to mention chase down as well with the killer instinct.
That's where Didango comes in, having Skarner onto this play. So impossibly strong and buys them a lot of time here. So with that, we'll see what they can do to kind of recover here. Yaba has a lot of ground to make up, and Didango still on the run as Timmy Tommy hops over the wall. Just wants to get out of that one. Blast Cone is burned, and that's going to be more advantageous now for the likes of SFU than over onto the corner now for Illinois. We'll see what else can really make itself evident and apparent here as they do continue to charge down the mid lane, pan around the bear. And ladies and gentlemen, the cheers you're hearing right now.
These are some of the Dota winners.
Yeah, we've just crowned our Dota 2 winners over on the main stream. Like I said, you're probably here for League of Legends. If you're watching this stream, probably not the biggest fan of Dota.
If you're not here for League of Legends, I don't want to be your friend.
There's not a lot of fan crossover there. Tends to be at opposing ends, but CSL Grand Finals have crowned their first champion. SFU currently in a position to look to find themselves the second one of the day. Best of 3 series, potentially 1 game away, potentially 1 more on the docket here, and we'll see whether or not that does show itself to be the case. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon here on the West Coast. Jungle Boy in a bad position. Set Maverick is there, and the Recon is so strong. The Disintegration Ray.
Oh, so beautiful.
And Didango takes it for himself there.
Shimmy placed his Disintegration Ray over the Baron Pit, knowing that Jungle Boy was going to hit the explosive flower. But we have more engage coming out here.
Yeah, Zaker and Timmy Tommy pinning Set Maverick here, but the rest of his team able to start to get onto Kerbeck there. He's going to have to flash out. Featherstorm is down. A lot of damage coming around Yaba. They want to find him, but look at this. They're putting it back onto Shimmy. He's going to try to find a little bit more. Didango gets Timmy Tommy, and Yaba's in a lot of trouble. Erase trades his own life, but he does find it, and they'll consider that one worth it. Kerbeck not in the fight. He's been healed well up at this point, but the ultimate is down. He has not a lot of resource to continue with this, and that means they have to leave Zaker out to dry on this one. They will kill him. The passive is going to do a hell of a lot of damage to Set Maverick. He's actually quite low at this point, and that does cripple a good bit of the chances they would have had for the Baron, but they'll still take the team fight win as a consolation prize. It was a 1 for 4. Only a race went down, and they found so much more throughout. 15-10 now on the board for themselves. Kerbeck, the only survivor, and reasonably unharmed, but you cannot just look now at Swain as the only option you have to carry this game. You need to bring some of the pressure off of his shoulders, and sure, you have the numbers, 3-3-3 for Yaba, but it's just not converting.
Needs to give a little bit more protection over to Yaba. Yaba was caught out there and actually ended up dueling Erase. Yaba looked like he was going to stay alive, started rotating around, auto-attacking, doing what the Kai'Sa does, but just got collapsed on because there was a tunnel, there was an opening, and SFU saw that, took it, and then collapsed on them. Yes, Erase went down, but it doesn't matter. Whenever you kill the main damage dealer on the enemy side, and you still have 1 or 2 damage dealers on your side, it's still going to play in your favor.
Basic League maths.
Basically maths, indeed. Aelith, he has the Triforce, he has Steric's Gauge, he also has a BF sword just for a good measure. And but this is risky. This is so risky.
Have a front door to the Baron. It's not subtle in any capacity. That's going to be the teleport
now
coming
they
down.
are half health.
Yeah, this is going to be some damage onto Aelith here, but I think they'll take that. They
Oh,
want the
they're going
initiation.
in.
Set Naverick is in. That's going to be the disintegration ray as well. They're going to try to find everything they can. Set Naverick's health bar low. He's on the back end, and Timmy Tommy quite down as well, but it's a knock up onto the front line. Kerbeck is trying to do what he can, and Jungle Boy's out the back, and Kerbeck trying to make it happen, but he does go down. Aelith finds that kill. Glacial Fissure not going to do enough despite the low health bars of the side of SFU. They are cleaning up, and it's going to be the shutdown now actually come out. Yaba did find that one as well as stayed alive, but it's just not enough. They find 2 kills for themselves. They give up 3.
Yeah, that was an insane team fight. That was started by SFU. There was a very sneaky, very premature Baron started by Illinois.
I don't think it was that sneaky. They just said, let's rush it.
Yeah, I guess it really wasn't. It was initially, it was supposed to be sneaky. Wasn't. You can't. If you're going to clear the enemy, if you're going to clear the vision around Baron, make sure there's something else for your enemy team to go play with.
Right.
Like a wave pushing. There's nothing in the favor of Illinois to really start that sneaky Baron. Not to mention you're dedicating all 5 members. Have something else for SFU to go look at, go stare at, go get distracted by. Whether it be 2 members of Illinois, which that's the unfortunate side of them right now with their team comp. They need all 5 members, 4 at max, to really go, or 4 minimum I should say, to go do the Baron. There's nothing else to really show SFU that, oh, they're not there. So they're just going to walk over, put a ward in. Of course they're there.
Yeah.
We know they're there. And now the Baron's chunking them down. Oh, let's go engage.
SFU smell out the rat and say, you ain't slick.
No.
You're going to try to keep pushing up here. They find themselves the Mountain Drake in the meantime, and now can reset around this Baron with a lot more confidence in their ability to burst it out thanks to that % damage that will be gifted over to them by the blessings of the Mountain Dragon. Now it's just a matter of clearing out the wards, maintaining a safe space to fight in, because Illinois, they say, we're here too, and we're ready to fight you bloody knuckles out on this one. And a lot of vision priority being given over, actually. Simon Fraser are bowing now to Illinois, saying, hey, you know what? We're not ready to...
The waves are pushing against them quite heavily now.
They'd rather retake the Baron Pit than hold it long term. They know they have the options for that too, with just the way that their team comp is geared. Jungle Boy.
This is the distraction. Jungle Boy, he's not in the pit, so like, okay, they're not doing it. But now they see the thing. It's almost halfway down too. Kaisa can take this out so quickly with the marks.
One ward is all it took to ward him off there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And Aelith used his cannon barrage on that bot side, so just cleared out that wave, made that obsolete. The top side, it's still pushing, but SFU can go and answer that one very quickly.
They're pushing down
They're
the mid
actually
lane.
going to go to the mid lane now.
Yeah, they have the inside roam track. They know the tower is low. It's going to be likely a fight breaking out for it, but if they can get the tower and maybe come out in a trade even, they'd be feeling good about that one. But look at this. They're not done.
They're
Simon
not.
Fraser say, you're going to have to come down and stop us yourselves, and that's going to be the initiation they want. They're getting in onto the back line. Set Naverick is all over, and there's the disintegration ray.
It hit
Is
nobody.
It enough? No, Kerbeck was able to Zanya's through it, but Set Naverick kills Jungle Boy. That's the first kill of the fight thus far. Yaba turns one back now onto Set Naverick. Erase has
Yaba's
gone
going
down,
off.
and he is popping off with this one, but Shimmy's on the back line. His health bar's not down yet. Aelith finds a crucial kill, but it's going to be the triple coming down for Yaba. Maybe more onto this one. He's could go all the way with this one. Didango is on the run. He's over the wall, and this looks like it's just going to slow down. We talked about it, a trade. 3 for 3. The tower is the only thing that tips the scales, and it does so into the hands of Simon Fraser, but at what cost? They just gave Yaba a first-class ticket back into this game.
Yeah, Yaba, he went off. He was not touched most of that time. Not to mention, Shimmy did not hit anybody with that disintegration ray. And I say anybody, he didn't hit anybody priority.
It mostly ate on the Braum shield.
Correct. Kerbeck, rather, he used his Zanyas to pretty much negate all of it. Not to mention, he does have a Quicksilver Sash now, too, so he can, if he's knocked up, he can cleanse that. You can't move around, but you can still use your abilities. You can still auto-attack. You can also use your active items if you cleanse a knock-up. So even if you get knocked up and you cleanse, you're going to stay in one spot. Might as well use that Zanyas, because that's the time that Shimmy is going to use his Disintegration Ray. Needs that in that team fight to hit priority targets, or else the team fight goes like that, and you give Yaba the chance to come back into this game. 7-3-4 now, has a Nash's Tooth, has the Death's Dance as well. He's looking very powerful now.
Yeah.
After one team fight.
That's sometimes all it takes, and he can find more and more for himself throughout. Potentially scaling up through this and creating a really big nuisance for himself. We talked about this. It can't all fall onto Kerbeck. Well, now, Feck, as it doesn't have to. He's in a position where he can have some weight taken off his shoulders. And while Simon Fraser, they're going to feel good about taking the tower, opening up the mid lane a little bit more. With their cautious play style that we've seen thus far, I can't help but think this is going to slow them down just a little bit.
There is a very methodical approach by SFU, making sure all of their bases are covered. But while they do that, that does give time over to Illinois to be able to get themselves back into this game, farm up, and get Yaba one good team fight, which is what happened last team fight. If he can do that again, he's going to be a massive force over on the side of Illinois that may not be able to be answered. He does such a great job dodging around everything and getting to the back lines. Not to mention, it was on his side of the base, so if he got in trouble, he could just go into that side. That was a bad point to team fight for SFU and a great point for Illinois. So I do want to say props to SFU for actually coming out even technically in that team fight with being right that close to the base.
They came out ahead if you count taking the tower, which is what they really came to do anyway. And look at this. They may just be looking to run the same situation back right down again to the mid lane. They are getting pushed in the tops, or bot side of things rather, but they're just playing a war of attrition. They'll take a tower. Hey, we'll take a fifth here, a fifth there.
Yeah.
Chunk it out piece by piece and make the patchwork into now a frame of destruction here.
That is going to be harder to do on inhibitor turrets because they do regenerate. It's a slow regeneration, but they do regenerate. So if they do hit that, get that little 1/6 or 1/5 of health down on that turret, as long as Illinois can stall out long enough for that to just regenerate, SFU won't be making any progress on that. And once again, the game is going to be so delayed that Illinois are going to be able to farm back into this one. Yes, they're down in gold, they're down in turrets, but it's not escapable. They also have 2 Drakes.
Yeah, at
it's
30
3Ks.
minutes, it's nothing to sweat too heavily over, especially when you have that Infernal Drake, when you have another Infernal Drake coming up on this one. I mean, the options are there, the doors are open. We could see potentially whoever gets this Infernal Drake, or maybe, in this 15 seconds when it spawns up, if a fight breaks out around here, that could be the definition that we're looking for in this game. Simon Fraser prioritizing some wards around there. Illinois say, look, we'll just get to the bear, and they have
trying to sneak it again.
They know it can go so fast. Gangplank is on the bottom side of things. Set Naverick drops the ward. He knows they're starting at the health bar about 6.5K right now, but it's dropping very quickly. The ward scares them off because they don't have the other information. That was almost so close coming out now from the side of Simon Fraser. If they didn't drop that ward, if they didn't hit it at the right time, what could that have meant for this game?
That does give priority over the Drake to SFU. Aelith starting it up. Zaker trying to get to his face. Aelith has more damage here. He can take this dragon a lot faster.
He can burst it.
Let's see if it's going to go over. Yeah, they're going to wait. Play it patiently. Drake going over. Now Zaker in trouble.
Yeah, no, the disintegration rate really not doing a whole lot. He'll actually be able to make himself unstoppable out of that. That might signal now to the side of Illinois that, the Baron is on the table. Look, they're not as worried about the disintegration rate in the pit, and they know that Gangplank, while a threat, is still quite a ways away. There comes the cannon barrage down to slow things up. There's Set Naverick getting in. Glacial Fissure only finds really 1 or 2, and it's not enough, but the teleport's coming down, and Set Naverick is getting destroyed. Kerbeck is in to this one. He is knocked up, and no one's dead yet, surprisingly, but Kerbeck says, I will change this, whether it's me or somebody else. Timmy Tommy low on the back line as well. This is the flank from Jungle Boy, but is it there? Is it enough? Zaker, not a high health bar left, and Didango wants to get in. Can he find anybody? Yaba is a priority target. They can just turn around on the Jungle Boy. This is their Baron priority, and they've just given it up. That is bad news as Aelith takes that kill. This is going to be big. Kerbeck is going to get suppressed. They're going in for him. That's Set Naverick finding the kill. Yaba is low as well. Is he going to be able to found by a race? The answer is yes, and now the Baron is coming down for Simon Fraser University. They are going to put themselves squarely in the lead in this game number 2, potentially to take the series here. They are so close, and Baron just brought them closer.
Such a massive team fight for SFU. Yaba not in a good position. Kerbeck, he didn't have a flash. He could not use that supernova on priority targets. He had to do it at the very front of everybody. And Jungle Boy was on the opposite side of that whole fight. He's not going to be isolating anybody on that backside, and he does not need to be by himself. And yeah, SFU, they noticed that, like, what is this guy doing? And just turned around and destroyed him. So Zaker, he also was not in a good position in that team fight. He just uses Unstoppable Onslaught, which means he's not going to have that disruption, that run into your face, knock somebody up, give Kerbeck the time to get into the position on a priority target with his Supernova. Nice team fight by SFU, and now they have the Baron. That might be the last nail in the coffin for Illinois.
They wanted the flank. They had him coming around the side just to try to pick off a target, but it ended up being their undoing. And now we'll see whether or not this is something that can be come back from. Kerbeck and Yaba going to try their damnedest here. Jungle Boy again, proving if he's not on Zach, then where is he?
So far, he has, actually, I was about to say he's done better now than he has on Trundle, but he's 1-6-7. Something that I actually haven't noticed that much until now.
It's a pretty rough record.
That is a very rough record. And when you're not a tank, you're a damage dealer, you're an assassin. 1-6-7 is not a great KDA. If you're a tank in 1-6-7, you can still just be a dumb tank in the front line,
right,
and go 1-8-7 for
and
all
say
everyone
the assists
cares.
are okay, but hang on, Jungle Boy gonna get kid up here. This is big.
That's
Shimmy
the problem.
finds the kill. Maybe a little bit more potentially out of this one. Yeah, that's another death for Jungle Boy. 1-7-7 thus far, and the fight stalling out a little bit. They're just damaging near each other, not even at one another right now, because they don't want to engage on Zaker. And on the flip side, there's not a desirable engage from Illinois to go in 4v5 right now. So they're all just going to catch their breath, reset here in the top lane. There's a wave building bot side for Illinois, so they have some time. But if they do not get a stand here, this could be dangerous for their towers. They're going to pull back in onto Zaker, and then Yaba's going to get set Maverick. Zaker is low, but at what cost? They find the tower now. It's both supports in a little bit of a precarious situation.
Oh,
Timmy
no.
Tommy's taking the damage on the front line, but Kerbeck is the one that they really want, and that's going to mean that he's going to go down. Didango does find it. The disintegration ray is on such a low cooldown at this point that Simon Fraser use it with liberty, and they find Timmy Tommy as well. That's 3 dead now. Really just 2 on the side of Illinois.
Shimmy had so much discipline in that fight, saving his disintegration ray. He has been using it at the forefront of that fight, of these fights in this game, and Kerbeck has just been dodging it with the Zanyas. This time around, Kerbeck, he prematurely used his demonic ascension, got destroyed, and had to force him to use that Zanyas. Shimmy had the disintegration ray to follow up with it and could easily take anybody out. But of course, Didango able to pick up that kill last hitting him, but a lot of the damage done by Shimmy.
Shimmy, 18 assists
18, yeah,
to his name there. Out of 27 kills, he's participated in 22. Now the kill participation across the board is above 20 for every single character. Actually, 22 is low here for the likes of Simon Fraser. So they're playing as a very cohesive unit, but Shimmy been involved when and where he needs to be. We've not seen maybe the breakout, put the game on your back Vel'Koz performance we were expecting, but he's still 4-1 in terms of kills. That's better than Kerbeck's Swain at 4-6. You think of Swain as survivable. You think of him as, you know, a tough one to take down. Not been the case this game.
Shimmy has the fortunate circumstance of having 2 other carries, Aelith and Erase. Aelith is doing a fantastic job on that gangplank. 15 assists for his own record, by the way.
Oof.
Yeah, 7-1 and 15 on this gangplank. Aelith is destroying. And not to mention making cross-map plays. We had a big build of minions in that bot side earlier. Cannon Barrage took it out no problem. He is doing an incredible amount of work in that top side, or at least in the top side now. Of course, it's all over the map. Aelith, what I'm trying to say, doing a fantastic job for SFU.
Well, now they're grouping around the Elder Dragon. Not a Drake at this point. Something they definitely want to take away for themselves.
5 seconds before it.
Would certainly push them over the edge here, especially now that the Baron buff not really on the lot for them. Didango getting pretty risky for this ward, and they may be trying to find this one out at the edge of the Elder Drake. This could be huge. Set Maverick is there. Erase trying to get the damage down, but look at what they do to Jungle Boy. He goes down so fast, and Kerbeck is trying to turn this one around. There is Yaba as well into the middle of things. Kerbeck's going to go down, but Erase not in the best position maybe against Yaba. Yes, he is, as the team does continue to lock it on down. And Yaba stood a chance there for a brief moment, but Didango locking up at the perfect time means this is going from bad to worse now for Illinois. They were trying to capitalize there. They almost had Didango caught out, but Set Maverick as the support did such a good job peeling the pressure away from him that it bought him the time he needed to lock down Yaba and allow Erase to get the kills.
Honestly, that might be game. This is a very close to being game. They have the minions, they have the health bars. They could tank up this turret by themselves. They only have
the first inhibitor.
Of course, there's also
yeah, this is SFU.
Yeah, it's SFU. They're going to play conservative. They're going to get all of their objectives. They're going to get all of their eggs in a row, and then go for it after that. The Elder Drake is up. Going to be able to take that one and keep that away. That's going to cinch pretty much. Well,
close.
They're methodical, but the team coordination sometimes still a little rusty every now
it's hard to stack 5 people all up on the same trajectory there, but this trajectory is heading towards a CSL Grand Final Championship right now as they calm down the Elder Drake. 50 seconds till the Baron, but any team fight they're going to be feeling really good about, and now they have the bot lane pushing. This is the one they have to focus on. It's the furthest possible geographical place away from the Baron, and that's exactly what they want on the hands. Simon Fraser right now, especially with the Elder Drake, it seems like a very clear-cut path forward, set up around Baron. If they try to fight, kill him. If they don't, take it. Push down, polish off mid and top, and call it a game after 3 or 4 more backs to base to buy.
This game is a 14,000 gold spread right now. The Elder Drake is on SFU.
They're still playing like it's dead even. It's just what SFU does.
It's the respect that they give, and also, yeah, the methodical. They don't want to misstep any position on their advantage. But I want to look at Yaba one more time. He has a Gwinsu's and he has a Runan's Hurricane. That is an insane amount of power added already to the Stinger and the Death's Dance. Yaba is their only hope on the side of Illinois at this point. They have to protect him. If they cannot, the game is almost over anyways, but if it's guaranteed, if they kill Yaba.
Oof, they just chewed
That's
through
a
that
very
Baron
quick Baron too.
so
My
quickly.
God.
Mountain Drake, Zaya.
Empowered by the Elder Drake.
And then top it all off with the fire just there for a little bit of extra, just raw damage in general, but now things looking very good for SFU. Illinois on the back foot for the second game as well. This may be the first time they are defeated in a best-of-3 series, Fekez. And to do it 2-0 would send such a message that Simon Fraser University not to be trifled with.
They're in the base. They may just finish this one out right here, Corvus. They're going to play it slow. Once again, they're not going to pressure. They're not going to overstep their bounds. They're now going to do the methodical thing. Go to the mid lane, push that one as well, and take that down too.
They like to be perfect. 10 towers is too few. Have to have all 11.
They like their OCD.
They need
you know what? That's good in League of Legends sometimes.
Yeah, the compulsiveness is necessary for taking out some of these towers. They do, of course, kind of waste away the entirety of their Elder Drake fight potential, but they turn it into a Baron, and so, you know, as long as they can keep that train in motion, it's going to be something they're going to be feeling pretty decent about. It's going to be a very long dig in from the side of Illinois. We're 42 and a half minutes here. The longest game of the weekend thus far is
abnormal for this meta.
Yeah, we saw most stuff just taper out around the mid side, but yeah, here we go indeed. They want to get in onto Set Maverick, but Kerbeck is going to be taken up. He's going to have to go down now. Eventually it's Lasagna's, but the shutdown is coming. Shimey does go down. Shimmy, rather. Zaker is going to be the one, but it is Simon Fraser cleaning house. Yaba's on the back line, but there's no chance of him pulling this one out. They do find it, and Zaker, it's just the passive, so that means that is the ace, ladies and gentlemen. That is not just the ace, that's the base, that's the game, as Simon Fraser University crowned themselves the kings of JV Collegiate League of Legends, making history for their school as the first ever school to win the JV League, to win that $5,000 and take the crown here at Huntington Beach.
Congratulations to SFU 2-0, the only team to take a best of 3 away from Illinois, but not only just take it away, 2-0 take it away from them. That is a huge statement. SFU dominant right now.
They definitely came out the strongest team here in the tournament, beating the two that everyone thought would be against one another in the finals. We thought, is it UBC? Is it Illinois? The answer, neither. Secret option C, SFU.
So SFU won the JV tournament. They also won the 1v1 tournament. There's the stage. We're looking at them now.
Seeing them on your screen there, looking good, looking happy.
A lot of pressure is off him. Now they can go enjoy the convention. This entire time, that's one of the things about being a player. You go to a convention to play, yeah, cool, you're at a convention, your mind isn't at that convention. It's on the Rift.
No, of course.
You have to focus on that game. You have to focus every second what you're going to do. How are you going to do it? What's going to happen if this happens? And now they can breathe some relief, go enjoy the rest of the convention.
Well, Illinois, too, not walking away empty-handed for this one. They did finish the runners-up, unfortunately, but $2,500 going straight to their bank accounts for this one today, so I got to feel like they still accomplished a good amount and represented well here, did make it to the finals, pushing through against a tough opponent that is RMU.
RMU, they put up a really big fight. Actually, honestly, I thought RMU should have won, honestly, that game number 3, but I'm sorry, game number 2, not because RMU drafted LeBlanc support, by the way, game number 3, spoiler alert on that one. That didn't work out too well for them. In game number 2, probably should have went to RMU, but Illinois came back, and that was something that I was expecting to see in this best of 3. Illinois come back, but SFU were just so oppressive. They did not let that happen, refused to let it happen, and they 2-0 them.
With that, it's the first 2-0 we've seen all weekend. Game number 3 was a standard thus far,
Good day.
Yeah, something that was very quickly. We had till 3 or so budgeted, and that means that we're going to be kicking it over to a break before more content does come up. But before all of that, of course, we do have to extend our warmest congratulations yet again to Simon Fraser University, a great varsity program, now an undeniably outstanding JV program as they crown themselves champions here at CSL Finals in Huntington Beach for the 2017-2018 school year. We are, of course, going to round up a player or two, get their thoughts, get them here on the desk, give them their moment in the sun. But in the meantime, we're going to find a moment or two in between to get them prepped, ready, and on the desk here for you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Corvus-Crowe. This has been Joshua Fekes Quest with our last cast of the day. We'll have a little bit more coming at you after the break, so please don't go anywhere just yet. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking around. My name is Kyle Corvus-Crowe, and I am joined here by the one and only Set Maverick, the support for the victorious Simon Fraser University. How do you feel after that big win?
Fairly good, but I kind of expected us to win. Like,
okay.
Moreover, because UBC, I feel like UBC was like a much harder opponent, and we did, like, after we won that, I felt like we could just take it all in the finals. Yeah.
So I remember you were telling me about UBC and that your scrim record was not necessarily the greatest against them. Do you feel like you guys have played to a higher level and really elevated your game this weekend?
Yeah, we did a lot of prep, but yeah, we did a lot of prep, and in during the scrims, I think we're just trying to we're trying a lot of stuff. We'd give them their power picks and whatnot, etc. And I was kind of half asleep during the script, so yeah. It would be playing at night, and I have no coffee, but yeah. Overall, I think we just stepped up their game, and we really try hard in playoffs compared to scrims. Yeah.
So you had maybe a little bit of that land advantage coming into as well, so feeling pretty good. Was there any nerves around the rest of the squad, not just necessarily with you, but especially coming into yesterday, UBC, and now into Simon Fraser, your Simon Fraser, now into, of course, Illinois. Were there any nerves for either of these games, or were you guys pretty calm?
Well, for me, before the first game, I have a little jitters because give me your first game of the day, unless you have little practice meeting. But after I feel after you just win the first game, you just feel a lot more confident, and you just know that you can take down the opponent. As for the rest of the team, they're pretty confident. Mid laner is yeah, I know I can beat this guy, especially on Zoe, because Zoe will check.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of your picks and bans there too, and just break down a little bit of the strategy for the game. Now that we can actually kind of talk about that, and we don't have to give anything away. You guys have made it all the way to the end. You are the champions. Congratulations again on that. So looking here, you, especially in the bot lane, put a lot of priority on making sure they didn't get that Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
Was that your decision? Was that your coach? Was that something that you were particularly worried about as the support?
Yeah, okay, so our comps usually revolve around getting Skarn or Camille, getting a single target pick, and TK counters that a lot, and we've watched their semifinal games, and he's actually really good at Tahm Kench, so we thought that would be a really big problem, and we just wanted to take that away from him.
The priority then on Xayah throughout the series as well.
Yeah.
Something we saw, I think we caught you guys playing 5 games this weekend because it was a 2-0. 4 out of 5 of those games were Xayah for Erase there. Now he's the team captain, of course. How much priority around that do you guys feel? Obviously popped off on the Jhin as well, had a good game. Looking at that in the bot lane, did you have other tricks if they started to just ban Xayah 3 games in a row perhaps?
Yeah, well, for priority on Zyra, not Xayah.
Sure.
Xayah, I personally think Rakan's one of the best supports ever since Resolve 2 got nerfed. And he's one of the main engagers as a support. If you play Alistar, you're just going to get blown up because he's a lot weaker. And so for Xayah, we wanted to pair her up with Rakan. And Xayah also has an iframes or invincibility frames.
Right.
So we wanted to keep her ADC from dying.
Okay.
That's a lot. Just kidding.
Okay.
And yeah, so if they did ban Xayah, they would have to ban Xayah, Kai'Sa, and that would be too many ADC bans, and we would just get more power picks. So
Sure.
Other picks we gotta play for ADC would have been maybe Tristana, because he's really good at Tristana, Caitlyn, and of course Jhin. So yeah.
Okay, so I have one more question about the game, and then from there we're going to move it into a little bit of a post-game line of questioning. But first, you guys tend to play pretty long games, and even when you're building up these advantages to where it looks like, oh, there's no way they don't just win the game here, you're very quick to back off, reset, and just come back to an engagement full. Is that methodical play coming in, or is that a little bit of a, oh man, we don't want to throw situation?
Yeah, I think we had a big history of throwing at Nexuses.
Throwing at Nexuses.
Yeah, that was early on in the season, and we learned from that by being a little more safer, being more strategic. We don't want to take a lot of risks, because once you're ahead, you don't want to be risky. You don't want to take 5v4s and we're half health. We'd rather just back and then get another push going if we have another minute on Baron and just keep prepping. Yeah.
Well, your methodical play style certainly led you to a glorious result. 2 wins in a row, our first 2-0 of the weekend over Illinois. Nonetheless, an undefeated team previously. So my next question for you guys is, how are you celebrating?
That's a good question. I know some of the boys over there, they want to play some Fortnite.
Awesome, sure.
In the Fortnite tournament.
Yeah.
But also, we might watch Avengers, I think.
Okay.
A late night before our plane ride. Yeah.
Sure. When do you fly back to Canada?
Our flight's at 6 a.m. On Monday.
Oof.
Yeah,
All right.
oof.
So
Big
that's
oof.
only about 27 hours away from now. So that's some time to enjoy California. You gonna get out there and see any of the the sunshine?
I mean, it's pretty hot here compared to back home in Vancouver.
Sure.
So we had enough sunshine. I don't think we want any more.
All right, spend it all indoors. Understandable. Well, Set Navrik, we all want to wish you the happiest congratulations for your victory today. You guys have made esports history as the first JV1 League of Legends team. You've done your program proud. Simon Fraser, as a whole, I'm sure the whole school is very proud of you. And this is something you maybe you take back to the varsity program and
Yeah,
kind of as an endorsement of yourselves.
Yeah, so actually SFU doesn't really recognize esports, and we wanted to show them that esports is actually a big thing, and it's keep on growing. And so this win means a lot for SFU, and we could just take it home and say like, hey, we won this, we could do more stuff with esports, and it's gonna keep growing as an industry. So yeah, it's a very important win.
Well, Set Navrik, you've done your program proud. Congratulations yet again. Thank you for doing this interview with me today. Again, I am Kyle Corvus Crow. This has been Set Navrik, the support of the victorious Simon Fraser University, our CSL JV1 Grand Finals champions. That's going to do it for League of Legends today. We got a little bit more content on the mainstream coming through as well. That is, of course, twitch.tv/CStarLeague. Keep up with some more going on there. We also have Smash coming to this channel a little later on today. So there's a lot more. But for League of Legends, we are bidding you adieu. Thank you so much for sticking around with us this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It has meant the world to us. And we'll see you next time.
And Cloud9 just one round away from hoisting the trophy here at iBuy Power Masters.
Because Renegades shouldn't expect him to be in this position. Cloud9 need the bomb down, and they need it down now. There's 20 seconds left, but it's wrong. Luckily, Rush is right, and he finds 3 kills. Make it 4. Massive shutdown on the Antique. It's a double AWP up for Renegades, and Skadoodle, he'll make it work. Nifty dead as well, and that's it. Cloud9, ladies and gentlemen, will be your victors here at the iBuy Power Masters.
Power your play with Intel Core i9 Extreme Edition processor.